Around 5,000 years before Christ, Neolithic communities discovered metallurgy. That's the point in which we say that the Neolithic ends and the Metal Age starts. This process of metallurgy is a difficult one. That means that it's a complicated technology with several stages. The first thing that they had to do is collecting or gather the ore. Ore is the word that we use to talk about mineral when we are talking about metallurgy. That means that where the stone before became metal. They collecting from a mine, usually close enough to the village, the ore, and they bring the ore to the village. Then they had to smelt the metal. That means that they are going to put the ore in an oven with a lot of heat, and they are going to get a smelt metal in one side and the impurities of the mineral in the other side. You can see in the picture, for example, this is the ore of metal that they were heating here in the oven and getting the melted metal here. The third stage is pouring the liquid metal into a mold. The mold usually is a stone with the shape of the object that they're going to make, and they usually use both sides together. They pour the metal inside and wait for the metal be cold. When the metal is cold, they could open the mold and get the shape of a tool. The last phase is beating with a hammer the metal to get the final shape, and sometimes rubbish or polish the surface to get a better one surface. Here you can see, for example, a video
además de todos los oficios mencionados.
Around 5,000 years before Christ, Neolithic communities discovered metallurgy. That's the point of change. We stop talking about Neolithic and we start talking about Metal Age because of this discovery. This discovery involves a complex technology. This complex technology had different stages. Look at the picture. This is a normal village in the Metal Age, and the first that these people had to do is to collect the ore. The ore is the mineral of metal. This ore was collected in several mines in different places and brought to the camp or to the village to transform it into metal. You can see the second stage here that was smelting the metal. Here we have ore. This ore was heating here in an oven, and with a lot of heat we can get the liquid metal, the smelted metal. This melted metal is going to be poured into a mold. You can see both men pouring the metal, the liquid metal, inside a mold. This mold is made by two faces like this, with the shape of the tool inside, that they were put it together, and after a time, when the metal was cold, they opened the mold and get the shape of the metal. This shape of the tool is going to be beat and polished sometime to get the final shape of the object that they are going to make. You can see, for example, some examples of the tools and things that they used to make metal. This is a melting pot, like this one, or this one. It serves to get the melted metal. Here you have an oven, and here you have a mold. These two shapes work together, and this is the little hole here. They pour the metal here and get the shape. The metal age was divided in 3 periods. These three periods have the name of the metal that was discovered at each time. The first stage was the Copper Age. We call that Copper Age Edad del Cobre o Calcolítico in Spanish because the copper was the mineral, the metal. It was the first stage between 5000 3000 before Christ. This copper ore was discovered and used for the first metal tools. Later, around 3000 before Christ until 1000, around 1000 before Christ, they discovered how to make a new metal. This new metal is going to be an alloy. An alloy, in Spanish, aleación, means the mix of two minerals. In this case, they are going to use copper and they are going to add tin, estaño. Cobre y estaño, copper and tin, are going to make bronze. Around 1000 before Christ, the iron was discovered. The iron has an advantage. It's very frequent in nature. We can find iron almost everywhere. The problem is that these people need to learn how to use it because iron was a very difficult metal to melt. If you can see here, we evolve from a very soft metal to a stronger one. Copper was softer than bronze and bronze softer than iron. And the technology used to get this metal is less complicated here and very complicated here because iron needs a lot of heat to get melted. Here you can see some examples of the metal work. They use metal to make jewelry. This is gold jewelry. They use metal to make weapons like these swords or to make tools like these axes.